Welcome everybody back. Welcome everybody to Timberborn on the channel. This is a small little sort of top-down simulation game where we play as the god of beavers. And we basically have to make sure these guys survive different types of cycles. There's dry seasons, there's bad tides, there's bad water, and all of that fun stuff. We're playing on a map that I really do like and have done a couple of times on the channel. And the water starts from up here, comes down, and ends here, and we start here. I've had this map in a double district session, when I had a district on this side of the thing, where this one is, and one over here. But we're playing just as the folk tales, as there are some new things in this game, and I've been looking at this for a little while, wanting to play. So I'm not sure where these new things are, or if they are in here. Zipline station, zipline pylons, zipline beam, and all of this fun stuff. So they're not too expensive and stuff when it comes to things, but obviously the first thing we need to do is get ourselves a little path that will go right to the water's edge, because this will be where a dam is eventually, or up at the dam over here. And then of course we need to start off this thing by a couple of water pumps, obviously connecting these up. They've done it so you can actually do it really easily, and actually sort of change where the entrance is to these. So I'm just going to put 3 of those back there, and of course start off with some little berry gatherers, which we'll go ahead and gather all these berries. And of course we need some lumberjacks to start off with. Quickly speed up some time, get all this stuff built, and in theory everyone should be ready to work. Now you do have to obviously select some areas for the guys to cut the wood down, so I'll just basically select this whole area, and of course this whole area over here, and that should bring plenty of wood into the area. Now also going to go ahead and build out a couple of sides on the edge of this district, and go ahead and put in not 1 but 2 of these research huts. I'm not sure we've got the beavers for that for right now, because we've only got enough for 1 to go in there. But we got a little bit of food on the go, a little bit of beavers on the go, and the way that the folk tales produce, the way we increase our population with the folk tales is we go ahead and well, we just make houses for them, and then they breed themselves basically. So let's quickly get one of those built up. We've got some water coming in now. It's 2 water stations. We've got 2 more beaver jobs to be done. That's good because these are going to get built eventually. Everything is seemingly going okay. Obviously we're running out of water now. And we shouldn't have a dry season for a little while, but we need to get the very basics set up for this first episode and first night. Now, all the trees are growing. These actually have quite a decent amount of wood in them. We also need to get ourselves a teeth grindstone, as this will allow us, well, it will allow the beavers to actually go ahead and start chewing trees, and then when their teeth break they can basically sharpen them back up basically. But let's get some water storage in. We got a lot of berries as well. I think there's plenty in here as well. There's 105 berries in there, along with what we can already have as well. Got some more water storage going in. We've got 2 beaver jobs that need doing, but should start getting these construction sites doing a little bit more progress on them. We've got 2 more beavers that have just grown up, so we'll have an extra job. Now food is not really a worry, but we do need to start getting some more wood in here. We need to try and minimize the amount of sort of green area that we're using up, so I'm actually going to go ahead and demolish this and put basically extend this path down and put the wood storage in here. And obviously make sure this is storing logs, and then we can probably up the production of that. That's probably higher priority than most other things. It does need like 6 logs though, so it's okay. And then that allows us to get that stuff sorted. And then obviously the thing with this map is that your water's here, and then the green land is here, and obviously you want to get farmhouses in. And to get the farmhouses in, we need to obviously expand our population a little bit, and that's going to be over here. So this is what I was saying. We can do one there, and then what we can do is we can press F and it will rotate the doors. And then that should be able to go ahead and get all those guys in there. I'm just going to bring this one next to the log shack, and they'll get built up over time. Not too much of a rush for those, as that's just basically building our population up. But so far, so good. Now, the next thing we need to work on is, of course, the crops. Now, I'm going to leave this area like this, as the berries are quite useful for the start of the game. Not so much as when you're using the iron teeth, but definitely useful nonetheless. And we're just going to put in one farmhouse for now. The range is pretty high on this guy. And the tip is to actually not just place in one type of crop. You want to place in about 4 rows of one and about 4 rows of another. Now, with the potatoes, you do need to go ahead and sort them out in a different way as you would normally, because the potatoes need what they call I'm trying to think what it's called right now. Yeah, a grill. So the grill is required for that. I wish there was a move button. Where you accidentally place it slightly too close. That unfortunately there is not. Small berries appear if we need them, but I'm going to quickly prioritize this farmhouse, and then 3 of the beavers can jump in there. Luckily the beavers can still reach these trees, and then after the farmhouse is built, I think this needs planks, no it doesn't, it needs logs. So we can also go ahead and put in some more log things over here, lumberjack flags. And then we can expand our area and get rid of all these trees as well. Like, this is a lot of wood over here as well. And these guys can go over there as well, which is really good. The berry guy's not really got much to do because he can't quite get up here yet. Wait, if I go ahead and expand this path to here, he can't reach up there still. No. Okay. So now we need to go ahead and make these guys do some grilled potatoes. I'm not too worried about the fact that that lacks workers for now, because we've only got 3, 6, 9, 12, places for beavers to live, which only just about gives the beavers that are currently in our colony enough places to live anyway. The only negative of putting them so close to the edge is that the ground is now getting damaged by this bad water, which is the only problem with this map, because the bad water comes from up here from 2 sources and then goes down the back, and this starts to spread as well. Now, let's think about actually expanding the population of the beavers. Now, we can put that one there. Actually, going to put the doors like right next to each other, and they should get built up pretty quickly, to be fair. It does leave a little weird gap here, but I'm not too worried about that. And now that will start increasing the population of the beavers. I've put in a bunch of different crops, as I mentioned before. We've got sunflowers and potatoes and carrots. So that will help with the food distribution, and of course will help with the, I was going to say the morale, but the well-being of the beavers. As you can see, there's lots of different food items here as well. Wet fur is also another thing that the beavers would like, which I can't remember if that's in, I think it must be in well-being, and it's the shower option. So we can actually unlock this now, and that can go in here. This is just good for well-being. But we do need to, unfortunately, need to start getting into the power of stuff. So we're just going to put this water wheel just there for now, and next to that we're going to go ahead and put in a lumber mill. Put it around the other way, hopefully it will slot in there quite nicely. So that will power that, and then we need to go ahead and spend 30 points on a forester, which I actually wanted to kind of put here, but it's absolutely fine to go next to the farm. Now I'm actually going to leave a space next to the farm, so if we want to add another farm in the future, we can do that without a problem. Now the wood situation is absolutely fine. I think there's plenty of wood over there, and these guys have plenty of wood to collect anyway. Yeah, I think we could probably go with probably upping the priority of some stuff. And this can get paused, and these guys can get reduced down to 1. So we're running out of food now, which is a bit of an issue. Luckily we can solve that temporarily by pausing this and putting him over here. So this guy will go ahead and pick the berries that are over here. Okay, the plank mill is working as well now. Let's just get somebody in there to get the wet fur achievement. We'll probably pause both of these, as we don't really need any science at the moment, which leaves obviously 1 beaver free. Obviously primarily we want to help the beavers live and not really run out of food, which is not currently what we're doing at the moment. We kind of want to prioritize the carrots and stuff a little bit quicker than we have. So that gets 2 beavers in there. They can collect all of the carrots. The potatoes do take a little bit longer to grow, but they are kind of better. But it's also, these take 4 days, these take 6 days, and these take 5 days. So the next thing will be the, let's get rid of this guy, pause him, put him here. A lot of like micromanaging at the beginning as well. Obviously we got 4 baby beavers. What's wrong with these guys? Hungry. Makes sense. But now there should be 3 beavers on the farms, and I do really like that they've added like these little cool little like items to their heads, like little farmer hats. And I think the lumberjacks, they just go ahead and gnaw at the trees. They never used to do that. They just used to stand there and hit, basically. You can't really see what anyone else is doing, really. Alright, we've got nothing building at the moment, and the food is looking quite good. We've got the forester up now. Probably reduce this down to 1. It means someone can go in the forester. Beavers are now happy because they got the wet burr. We can go ahead and put in that much birch. I will fill this one in when it grows. Some 4 rows of pine. And then obviously when all this stuff over here gets cut down as well, we can go ahead and sort that out. And then obviously we can put in some more paths and go ahead and move these over. And we got our first droughts approaching, which is not good, but I really quite like those to be prioritised. That would be good if they could get prioritised. That leaves these two. One obviously doesn't have anyone in it because they're over here at the moment, but that's absolutely fine. Pause that, which will allow everyone to have job problems. Now we can reduce the number of workers in here by one and put somebody in here, and they can make the grilled potatoes. And for ease of working, just gonna put the storage for these just here now. I'm going to leave one with nothing in it. So one is going to be for carrots, of course. One is then going to be for the normal potatoes, and the other one is going to be for grilled potatoes, which is here. And then the other one can just be absolutely fine. So we got 13 planks, one spare beaver. He can actually just go into here for now. We got beavers collecting the wood, and all of that stuff is good to go. There's not really much else you can do in the first episode of this. You get the little sort of boundaries and stuff, but I'm really excited to go ahead and get these zip lines going, because it would make it easier to get around the map, especially in some circumstances. The next thing I'd really like to get in is that dam. Now I kind of like the idea of damming up just here, but that does mean that we are going to have to go ahead and take out some trees. You see there. We're going to have to take out these trees, unfortunately. It doesn't give us the wood, unfortunately, but which is kind of frustrating, and you can't really prioritize the trees. But we need to get this dam in anyway, because we are actually going to fail, potentially. I don't think we'll fail because we have plenty of water here, but everything is most likely going to die. But we've got plenty of potatoes and stuff, so not too worried about that. And for now, we will store some sunflower seeds in here. Obviously, the beavers are all going to bed. And we're now in that drought, which is what I was trying to avoid. Really? I don't know why that's been planted there, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, we should be good during this time, but harvesting stuff, we should have plenty of water and stuff anyway, so not too... I've just realised something else. So this location for the dam will actually just keep water here. I've just remembered how this works. So we actually want to demolish that. Go ahead and cancel all of those. We actually want the dam to go in here, but people that have been playing this for a while were not very happy with me right then. Yeah, we actually want the dam to go over here. And then we can quickly do this. get some more builders in here. Get one more farmer in. Just so these don't die, really. But luckily it's only a day and a bit, so it's not too bad. That does mean that we can probably do this whole thing of trees. Anyway, I'll see you guys back when the dry season has finished. And there we go, guys. The drought is over. I've managed to put on the menu thing that makes sure everything is square. As I was trying to make sure this was all square and stuff, but I've forgotten how to turn it off. But the dam is now in, well, coming in there pretty quickly. We got plenty of planks, plenty of food. We didn't actually suffer that much, to be fair. When it comes to everything, I don't think we lost any beavers. No, just died of old age. It's not too bad at all. We're also not, we haven't got too many beavers, if that makes sense as well. But we'll quickly unpause this and actually reduce the scientists. So you don't need science for right now. He'll go into here in the morning and get us plenty of berries and stuff. For this, from this area over here, which will get us food up as well, because currently we're just waiting the 4 days for these. But anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave today's episode here. Hope you guys did enjoy. I hope to see you guys next time for some more Timberborn on the channel.